you order a noodle dish. I'm like, and then you have white rice with it. Like the side that goes with your noodles is white rice.
I don't think you're supposed to be eating the white rice with the noodles.
It's the Wilford Brimley special. Rip to the max.
Welcome to Namely 90s. Wow. The podcast that takes you back to the time before smartphones, Google, and Y2K. Join your hosts as they relive the pop culture that shaped a generation and the parts that many people wish they could forget. Listen in to the conversation about how the decade defined those who spent their childhood there and how it shaped them as adults. So, turn down the grunge and dial up the internet. Let's get started. It's time for Namely 90s.
That's right. You're listening to Namely 90s. My name's Andrew, and over there's Brandon.
That's me.
You can find us online at namely90s.com or on Instagram and Bluesky at Namely90s. You can also find the show on YouTube every Monday at youtube.com/@namely90s. And if you'd like to support the show, head over to patreon.com/namely90s, also with a 90s to get signed up for one of our support levels. Hello again.
Hello.
Happy summer. It is blusteringly windy here. It's been misting sideways for the better part of the day.
You know, this weekend it's been unseasonably cold after being like, it hit 80 on like Friday, and then Saturday it was like 64, high 64. Today was a high 62.
Ooh, brisk.
I was like, what?
You better be warmer down there in July when I'm coming to visit.
Yeah, probably.
Because last time we visited too late in the season, and like the warmest it got was 65,
which was still hotter than you. Well, I guess you're living in
warmer.
Eastern Washington.
Except for whatever day that crazed lunatic came out at Morro Bay and talked to us about like squirrel AIDS or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. Old people be out telling you things if
anytime
it's
you
over
have like a stack of flyers Xeroxed off and you keep them in your car, that's not a good sign.
Mm-hmm. You know, those out-of-staters, you gotta keep them away from the estuary or else they'll start climbing it.
I think the lady was convinced she had Lyme disease. I think the Lyme disease had burrowed into her brain in the squirrel cortex, you know?
Mm-hmm. She was actually just like a flock of seagulls in a coat.
Yeah, she opens the coat, just doves come flying out.
Yeah,
pigeons
trying to keep the food for the gulls and not the squirrels.
Yeah. Hashtag goals. Spelled however you want to spell it.
I think you mean hashtag squad goals.
Let's see what else. So it's Pride Month.
Yeah, happy Pride, everyone. This is our third episode into Pride Month, so good job, Andrew.
Well, as of when this is recorded, it is just the beginning of Pride Month.
Correct.
We were talking about it at work. We ordered a bunch of like banners and like things to put up, and we were sitting in the front desk area, and we looked behind us, and we're like, maybe we should take the American flags down now that it's Pride Month. Like, because it was for Memorial Day and Armed Services Day or whatever.
Yeah.
But the fact that it's like Pride, better take down the American flag then.
Yeah, I don't think that's how that works. I think gay people or the whole LGBT community in America are primarily Americans.
No, but my point being that like, I wouldn't say that America is a beacon of tolerance and freedom for the LGBTQ.
Well, like for example, the rich part of 5 cities, the rich city of the 5 cities, a bunch of old white people are upset about them flying pride flags during the month of June. And they're like, you don't fly Christmas flags in Christmas. And it's like, they decorate the entire downtown in Christmas stuff.
Yeah.
Like they're just flying flags.
Well, and the reason I mentioned the American flag is because like the opposite of having a pride flag on your car is having an American flag on your car. Even though the American flag sort of universally represents our entire country, what they represent when placed on a car couldn't be more opposite from each other.
Well, only if it's like one of those black and white ones with fill in the color.
Sure.
I disagree. I mean, we are. I can see where you're coming from, but I feel like there are other flags, or say if you're a Supreme Court justice, your wife flies the flag upside down, then it's a sign that you're against the pride flags. Do you not know about this? Justice Alito's wife was like flying the flag upside down because that was like a sign for Stop the Steal back 4 years ago. And then he, at his house, the flag was flown that way because there was an F Trump flag across the street or something. I don't know. And he's like, sorry, that was my wife. And then at their beach house, they have, I forget what the flag is, but it's like something from like 200 years ago, like when, it's a George Washington flag that no one's used in years. And now it's like having a resurgence, and it's just like a clip art thing of a pine tree. And, it's another MAGA style. Yeah.
We were also, by the way, looking up, we had ran out of pronoun pins, and I was like, I wish I was independently wealthy. I would just send thousands of these to the RNC. Like, I think that'd be really fun. It's just a bunch of, it's only he, him, and she, her pins in that case. One of our people has a really funny bag. It's like a canvas sort of tote bag. And I can either say the word or you can e-tag the episode, but it's like rainbow, and on the side in big letters it just says full of gay shit. I think that's classic.
That's funny.
Anyway,
but yeah, I mean, I see your point and I see the joke, but it's just like, I mean, isn't the point of Pride Month for the community not to feel like they're not American?
No, I think the point was that like, I don't think that the American flag right now is a symbol for like equality, because half the country is a bunch of like racist, homophobic lunatics.
Fair.
So yeah. And the interesting thing is that like liberals are patriotic, but in a different way than,
I would argue. I mean,
it's toxic patriotism, you know, the stuff that goes on the right hand side of the aisle.
I don't even agree with that. I would say, specifically, like, not conservatives, but specifically the Trump conservatives are less American than patriotic leftists.
I agree with you. What I'm saying is that like, if you think patriotism means like having gun rights and not protecting your own citizens, then you're a shitty patriot. Like that's garbage.
Absolutely.
And it's been sort of weaponized in a negative way to like justify the wrong viewpoint. That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah. Like if you think it's your God-given right to just go out and kill puppies,
well,
go.
Yeah. Anyway, I feel like we did 10 minutes on that.
Well, it's only been 8, so.
Oh God.
Yeah. Happy Pride, everyone.
Yeah.
Your friends here, from your allies here at Namely 90s. Yes. We'll burn the American flag, I guess is what Andrew's saying.
I did not say that. We respectfully took the banners down and rolled them up for the 4th of July. We will display them again.
Fair. That's fair. It's still not 10 minutes yet.
No. Although I drove by a flag the other day because like people having flag poles in their front yard is a thing in the Spokane area. And I saw one where the flag was flying, but there was no like lighting. And I was like, they better take that flag down every night because you're not supposed to fly the flag at night unless it's illuminated. So if you're going to fly the flag, know the rules. Just saying.
It's true. But also, like, if you, the moment the flag gets like damaged or schmutzed or whatever, you're supposed to burn it.
Yeah, you're supposed to replace it. Yeah.
Yeah. So
or burn it too.
Have you seen some of those flags on the back of those?
Well, yeah, because it's in the back of your truck. It gets tattered. The edges, the airflow.
Yeah.
You never replace them. And it's like,
which they should.
You may as well just crap on it at that point.
Yeah. Next to your sneaky snake flag.
Yeah. Don't step on Sneck.
Yeah.
I told you about that, right?
Yeah.
I sent that to you. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was like a crudely painted "Don't tread on me" flag on the tailgate of a truck. And it said, "Don't step on Sneck." It just made me laugh. I don't know why. Totally random.
I'm pretty sure that's like a common parody flag of that.
I like it.
But they still use it. I think it's more like the libertarian ones. Isn't that what "Don't Tread on Me" is?
I thought it was like a military thing.
Oh.
Let's Google that.
I mean, before recent times, I had always associated it with libertarian because of the gun stuff.
Adopted 1775. Represents the libertarianism. Okay, you're right. I stand corrected.
Not that I am one.
I mean, it has origins in military history, but yes, libertarian.
Speaking of liberties and snacks
and taking them liberties, that is.
Yes, Libyans. So I saw. I want to say it was a meme. Oh yeah, it was a meme. Did I send this to you?
Yeah, you said something like Back to the Future was filmed there was like set in such and such time.
1985.
And the equivalent to that today would be going back to 1994, was it?
Yeah. So Back to the Future set in 1885, or the present era is 1885.
1985.
Correct. Back to the Future 3 goes to 1885.
Yeah.
1985 is the present day for Back to the Future. And then he goes back and travels back to 1955. So 30 years ago, from now would be 1994.
Ooh.
Yeah. Which we were both 5. Or I guess you were 6?
6, depending on the time of year, I suppose.
Yeah. 5, 6. I was 4, 5. So I thought it'd be a fun, like, discussion idea to kind of just like, what would a Back to the Future reboot look like?
Okay.
Set now, back and with the main character from now. I don't know, what is he supposed to be? 16, 17, 18, I guess, going back in time to 1994 and getting essayed by his mother. So I thought we'd start with some casting. I don't really know younger people actors, but like Marty McFly. I was thinking like Tom Holland, maybe.
That's funny. That's what I was gonna say. I was just Googled him
because I know
now it's a stretch. He's 28.
He's in his 20s now. 28.
But I love that we both independently thought of Tom Holland because I have it pulled up. That's awesome. What I was typing just then. So yeah, I mean, he's a bit old, but he could play young pretty easily.
Yeah, I mean, he played Peter Parker like a year or two ago, just graduating high school. So that's still in that range, I guess. Sorry, Tom Holland, if you're trying.
I don't think we can really go against that if we both immediately thought of that.
Sure. Okay. Awesome. Doc Brown, originally played by Christopher Lloyd.
So we need sort of an austere yet crazy gray-haired man.
But like also because like now he's old. He's old in the present day, but they did prosthetics for that. So like he's kind of old in the 50s.
Ooh, Brainwave. J.K. Simmons.
We're just gonna do Spider-Man.
Oh, is he in that?
J.K. Simmons plays the J. Jonah Jameson in the original Spider-Man movies and in the new Spider-Man.
I feel like you shave the beard, you give him a crazy like white-haired wig, and it kind of works. But I don't know if he's crazy enough.
What about Bryan Cranston?
Bryan Cranston, I like this. John Malkovich.
Okay.
Malkovich might be too old, but he's real weird.
Yeah, like he is real weird. I feel like we're casting a little too old because like Christopher Lloyd.
Yeah.
I feel like is a contemporary of at least John Malkovich. Let's see, Christopher Lloyd.
What's crazy is Bryan Cranston's only 2 years younger than John Malkovich.
Oh wow. Well, let's see. Christopher Lloyd is 85, so 40-ish years ago he was 45. So we're looking for mid-40s actor.
I mean, that's a rough one.
Is what is Bryan Cranston and John Malkovich at?
68 and 70.
Yeah, maybe a little too.
But I feel like we could have an old person. Like they made Christopher Lloyd seem older. Yeah. So you could have a older person play him. This is a tough one.
Yeah. Actors in their 40s, like an RDJ. Let's just go full MCU. Actors in their 40s, male.
Wow.
Pedro Pascal.
No.
Josh Duhamel. Jeff Goldblum's not in his 40s. Are you kidding?
No. He's got to be in his 60s. 71. Jeff Goldblum is 71 years old.
What about like weird pitch here? Ryan Reynolds? Not serious enough?
Well, this is so hard. I don't know a lot of like 40-year-old actors.
What about like Leonardo DiCaprio?
Too big of a name, I feel like.
Chris Pratt.
No more Chris Pratt. I had one. Jeff Daniels.
He's 60. He's in his 60s too, isn't he?
How are people so old? Everyone's so old. It's depressing. He's 69. They're all 70.
What about Jake Gyllenhaal?
No. I don't. You don't take him quite seriously enough.
John Krasinski.
Not too big of a name.
I don't think
it'd be very good if John did it.
Okay. John Cena.
Rainn Wilson.
Who's actually
58. He's 58. Good God, these people.
Well, yeah, he was like 10 years older than John Krasinski. Donald Glover. He's 40. He has that he could go from like wild-eyed to comedy real quick. That's a childish game.
Yeah. It has the benefit of not casting only white men.
Yeah, I was thinking that too.
This is interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we can't really cast out of.
We gotta choose something and move on though. So let's do
Donald Glover.
Yeah. Are you gonna have AI make the movie poster after we do this?
I can make the movie poster myself. Thank you. Because you have to. So on YouTube now, you have to declare if you have any AI.
Oh, I see.
Stuff.
Lorraine, Marty's mom.
Yeah. So someone around Tom Holland's age. Obviously, it can't be Zendaya because that would.
Oh, right, because it's back in time.
And then we do the old people makeup for.
I don't know any young female actresses.
Florence Pugh.
She's like 45.
Is she? No, she's our age or younger.
28.
Yeah. Like that's around Tom Holland's age. I guess we are supposed to be casting for high school, but like,
the problem is you and I don't know anyone young enough that fits that.
Yeah, like Florence Pugh is starting to hit a floor.
What about the person from I don't know who it is, but The Last of Us? That's the only show I know of that has a young person in it.
I don't even know who that is. The Last of Us show.
It has
Pedro Pascal,
Bella Ramsey, 20 years old.
Oh yeah, like Jenna Ortega is also. I don't know. Do you want her seducing Tom Holland?
Well, first of all, that's wrong on many levels, but I don't know.
What about
maybe not
Yellow Jackets?
Oh, who's in that? It's
Sammy
Cast.
Who is also 28.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I just don't know enough people in this age group.
I mean, she kind of looks like Tom Holland.
Fair.
Yeah, I can't think of. I don't know. Oh, Kiernan Shipka.
Who?
Kiernan
also, bless
Shipka. Kiernan.
All right. I mean, it's kind of the right look, not too mismatched on age.
Yeah, she was Sabrina on the new.
Well, she's
Sabrina
in Twisters.
Show. Yeah, which I mentioned on. You were like, I don't know who that is. / bless you.
Speaking of which, I think it's 1 or 2 days till the Crichton Patterson book drops, the Eruption book.
Snap! You'll have
that's on pre-order.
We'll have to do that for an episode? Question mark.
Okay, so Kiernan Shipka, I can go with that.
Okay, and then George McFly for Tom Holland. We need to figure out Tom Holland's dad. Originally played by. Yeah.
Guy's got a look going.
Young Hollywood actor.
His face looks prosthetic.
That in the second one it is. What about? Hear me out. Timothy Chalamet. Because they both kind of have that weird lanky vibe going.
How old is he?
He is 28.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know who else you would cast for that, frankly.
Yeah, I don't really know that many either. Or some of the Stranger Things kids, maybe, I guess. The Noah Schnapp.
I don't know any of them.
Austin Butler. I guess
I don't know young people. I have a problem.
Okay. Let's go Finn Wolfhard. Finn Wolfhard from Stranger Things, or Noah Schnapp from Stranger Things, I guess.
Then we got to do the bully next. Biff.
Oh yeah, Biff
needs to be a little bit.
This might be a long episode.
Of a meathead.
Kind of, yeah, like, plays a little bit older. Daniel Radcliffe.
Not physically imposing enough.
True. Jaden Smith.
Not physically imposing enough. But he will slap you. That's for sure.
Let's see. Okay. The Sprouse twins are like in their 30s. So no.
You go with a female bully.
Ooh, because it's the 90s.
Yeah.
Oh. Florence Pugh. No.
I mean, she's a little bit intimidating.
Yeah. Zendaya.
Doesn't have the physical stature.
But do we need the physical stature?
No, because maybe she's a bully. She just has cutting words, you know?
Yeah.
But Zendaya seems too nice in a way. But she is an actress, so she can probably pull off not nice.
Yeah, she has range. She was in Dune. She was in Euphoria. Yes,
Dune, the movie where the tube in the nose doesn't physically make any sense. Anyway, sorry.
There's also, what about Maya Hawke?
Don't know who that is.
She's the daughter of Uma Thurman.
Ethan Hawke?
Ethan Hawke, yeah. She's 25. She kind
of... Melissa McCarthy. We're taking a left turn.
Jenna Ortega. She could play like bitchy.
Okay. Let me look that up. Oh yeah, she looks like she would just cut you right down with her words, and has kind of like the movies she's in are a little bit edgy, you know.
Yeah, she's in the new. I think she's in the new Beetlejuice. And then do we want a cover of Power of Love by a modern artist?
No, so that was the song in the movie. We need to get a new song from the 90s, right?
No, it would be from now.
That song wasn't in the movie.
It was kind of in the beginning, and then they had a cameo with Huey Lewis. But it was like
But are you saying we should choose another song, or this is the song you would do?
I'm just saying we should. I mean, we could probably skip it, but I was just saying what artist would we pick what modern artist would we pick to cover Power of Love in a more modern
because
song?
Huey Lewis was a modern artist who did this song.
Like we could have a K-pop band do it, like BTS or something.
I mean, you gotta have someone who can play a saxophone solo.
But I mean, modern.
Ooh, what about like the Foo Fighters or something? Do a version of Power of Love.
Okay, you're sticking to like rock, pop rock.
It doesn't have to be.
I'm thinking like let's go
Spoken
modern.
word.
Let's go K-pop. Let's go techno.
Ooh, Calvin Harris and some sort of
SZA.
Sure.
She's a female pop artist or R&B artist, or Billie Eilish. Billie Eilish does Power of Love, except super drab. And
I don't know, like, I feel like it's always like the DJ and like some sort of pop star.
Calvin Harris and DJ Khaled.
Ariana Grande.
And Calvin Harris.
Yeah. The beat really drops in this. I'll tell you what.
All right. Do you want to take a break before we get into some scenes? We also
sure. All right, let's hit the break. Let's go to Brandon for the Namely 90s Minute.
Welcome back to Namely 90s Minute. Every week we look back at a culturally relevant show, movie, or piece of pop culture that probably helps stoke the algorithm. This week, in honor of the movie Thelma, we're looking back at the most iconic movie with Thelma in the name, Thelma and Louise. Thelma and Louise is a 1991 crime drama from the director of Alien, starring Annie from Bull Durham, Dottie from A League of Their Own, The Wolf from Pulp Fiction, Bud from Kill Bill, Shooter McGavin from Happy Gilmore, Ned Ryerson from Groundhog Day, Tyler Durden from Fight Club, and Sergeant Hank Voight from Chicago PD. The story revolves around two friends, Lorenzo's Oil and Earth Girls Are Easy. The former, Louise, is a sharp-tongued waitress who is dating a musician who is on the road all the time, and the latter, Thelma, is a housewife married to a controlling D-bag of a husband. They decide to go on a fishing trip together to get away from their dreary Arkansas lives. On their way there, they stop at a bar where Thelma dances with a flirtatious stranger who then tries to sexually assault her in the parking lot, but is stopped by Louise with a gun. but as the two leave, he yells that he should have done it to the both of them, pissing her off, so she fatally shoots him and they drive off. In the hotel room, they come to the conclusion that they can't go to the police about the attempted assault and that they have no evidence that would work in their favor. Instead, they decide to flee to Mexico, but have to take a long route around Texas because Louise had a bad experience there in the past. On her new route, they run across a pretty boy drifter, a river runs through it, who eventually sleeps with Thelma while Louise gets her life savings from her boyfriend who proposes to her, and she refuses. In the morning, Ocean's 11 is gone and has made off with Louise's life savings, to which she is distraught, so Thelma robs a liquor store. Meanwhile, the FBI starts to close in on the pair, and while understanding of what had happened to them, they trace their location by a wiretap at Thelma's house. Eventually, they get stopped for speeding and have to put a New Mexico state trooper in the trunk of his police car. Next, they blow up a tanker because the driver did some lewd gestures toward them on the road. Finally, the authorities catch up with them about 100 yards from the Grand Canyon, and instead of being captured, they kiss and keep going, accelerating over the cliff to their deaths. And that's Thelma and Louise in a Namely 90s minute. More or less.
And now back to the show.
All right. Andrew, I don't know how much you remember of Back to the Future, but
A fair amount.
Okay. So I wrote down some scenes that I remember and that are iconic to me that I quote in my head all the time because I think I have ADHD. But the opening scene, well, the original opening scene. Okay, the opening scene I think of is Doc at the mall with the DeLorean. It's after the school stuff. It's after him at Doc's place. But like it's the introduction to the time machine. Doc, they're at the Twin Pine Mall at 1 a.m. or whatever. There's a semi truck there, and Doc lowers down the ramp and pulls out a DeLorean. And Marty's like, "Are you telling me you built a time machine out of a DeLorean?" And then Doc says, "The way I see it, if you're going to build a time machine into a car, why not do it with some style?" So what is the time machine? What defunct?
Yeah, it's like, are there any small manufacturers like that do a car of any similar quality? I mean, a Cybertruck, maybe.
Cybertruck. So after I wrote this, but before we recorded, I saw a meme of a Cybertruck with the DeLorean, like the Back to the Future DeLorean logo and stuff.
Well, I feel like it's going to last as long as the DeLorean did. It's going to be as good of quality as the DeLorean was.
It has that like sheet metal look to it.
It's made of the same stuff. Yeah.
Yeah.
But it seems really expensive. I don't know.
So is the DeLorean.
Okay, I think a Cybertruck makes sense. Plus, it would have all the room needed for the flux capacitor and other things.
Yep. All right. Cybertruck. And I also was wondering, who are the terrorists he ripped off the plutonium from?
It's either going to be the Iranians or the North Koreans. I don't think the North Koreans come to the U.S. Maybe they do.
I like North Koreans.
Let's go with North Koreans. Yeah.
Yeah. Because I don't know how they found me. Who? The Libyans.
The North Koreans.
The North Koreans. And then, Marty jumps into the Cybertruck and gets chased after Doc gets shot and sees how they like 90 and goes back to the future at 88 miles per hour. Yeah. So Marty wakes up in Hill Valley, downtown, 1994. He's walking around, goes into the cafe. In the original movie in 1955, they have this whole bit where it's like, "Can I get a Pepsi free?" Because apparently there's a sugar-free Pepsi back in the 80s. The guy's like, "Can't have a Pepsi for free. You gotta pay for it." And Marty's like, "Oh, I'll just take a tab then. Like, I can't charge you anything if you don't have a don't tell me what you want."
So we're saying a current beverage that wouldn't exist back then.
Yeah, like a Red Bull.
He orders a Starry.
Okay,
which is the rebrand of Sierra Mist.
Yeah. Okay. Can I get a Starry?
A Pib Extra.
What are you starry about, kid?
Yeah.
A Pib Extra. No,
it used to be Mr. Pibb, but now it's Pib Extra.
Pib Extra. How can I give you more if you don't have any yet? Yeah, okay.
Yeah, true. How can I give you extra pay, but we don't even carry it?
Yep.
Why is that the voice? I don't know.
Yeah, 1955. It's still a 1955 cafe. No. Back to the Future 2 had the arcade machine. I don't think we need to really do that one.
Like Miss Pac-Man, maybe.
For the 90s? Yeah, I guess.
Yeah.
But more contemporary would be like Street
Mortal
Fighter.
Kombat.
Yeah,
Street Fighter, yeah.
Mortal Kombat.
We went to the same place with that.
Yeah. Street Fighter. Okay. We meet Biff, the bully, for the first time. I guess she's picking on our hapless Jenna Ortega is just savagely picking on Noah Schnapp, who is a nerd, and she's all, I don't know, goth or something. What?
Yeah, I feel like she wears the big jeans, the Jinko jeans or whatever.
She wears the Birkenstock boots.
Dark makeup though, black.
Yeah.
Black nails.
Yeah. And Noah Schnapp's our George McFly is dressed as like a, I don't know, arcade loving dork. Yeah.
I feel like Lorraine is dressed like in this movie would be dressed like Clueless, you know?
Ooh, I was gonna say Buffy, but I like Clueless.
Yeah. Kind of plays off like the 50s vibe, which was kind of like not similar, but I don't know.
Yeah, I see where you're going with it. All right. And then after warding off our what are we going to call Biff now, since it's a girl?
Biffy?
Biffy the Vampire Slayer. He gets chased in the street. Originally, this is where Marty invents the skateboard by pulling it off of a kid's scooter. Is there anything that we can do with that?
Parkour. He does parkour to get away.
Yes, he does parkour.
Like, how do you get up over that wall? We can't catch him.
That's amazing. I loved it.
Yeah.
All right. Next scene. His dad's a peeping Tom, and then he falls out of a tree and gets hit by a car and taken into his mom's house. So, do we just leave the peeping Tom scene?
Yeah, sure. Although, in this day and age, it's a little bit predatory and creepy.
Oh, it was back then too. Do we need a new reason for the peeping? Maybe. No, you're right. Maybe it's a new reason. Maybe he's like trying to, like, I don't know, return her cell phone or something that she.
Okay. Her pager.
She left her pager at the diner, and he's trying to return it to her, but he starts walking across the street, doesn't see her dad's car coming, and then Marty has to push him out of the way, and Marty gets hit, taken inside. And once inside, the big thing is, well, his mom takes his pants off, and is caring for him. As mothers do when they're teenagers, horned up teenagers. And then they have a family dinner and force him to eat with them, where they roll out the TV, which was new at the time, and they're watching a show, and Marty's like, "Oh yeah, I saw this on reruns." Is that a joke that we want to keep? Do we?
No, I don't think that really translates.
No, like cable or like HBO Max, or I saw this on a streaming service.
Oh, like TiVo or something.
Yeah, or like
TiVo's kind of outdated now.
Can you pause this? I want to go to the restroom or something like that. I don't know. How do you
can you skip the ads?
Yes. Can you skip the commercials? He's just kidding, kids. All right. So he goes and hunts down Doc Brown, shows him so he originally had one of those giant camcorders to record the Back to the Future thing. But I was thinking now he shot it on his phone, so he needed something to charge his phone.
Yeah, he's like, "Do you have a USB Type C?"
Yeah.
And they're like, "A what?"
A what?
like a charging brick, a power pack.
Yeah. And then so Doc Brown figures it out, gets it charged, and then they're watching him get shot on the TV. He like, he doesn't believe him at first. He's like, who's the president in 2000? Should we set it? Who's the president in 2024?
Yeah, we said it a few years back.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, the businessman.
Donald Trump, the businessman. Yeah. Okay. Perfect.
It's set in 2019, pre-COVID.
Yeah. Or 2025. After the saddest election is this year.
Yeah.
Donald Trump, the businessman, and Donald Glover, of course. He'll deliver in some cool line read. They go to the high school, try to figure out what's going on with the photograph, because his siblings are disappearing from his iPhone photo. And in the original film, Marty uses slang. He says, "Well, that's heavy, Doc." And Doc Brown says, "Why are things so heavy in the future? Is that a problem with the Earth's gravitational pull?"
So what did Gen Z say for like heavy,
Yeah, like that's so Raven. Yeah. What's some Zoomer slang? Zoomer slang for cool. Fire. Oh, fire. That's fire.
Slay.
Doc.
Slay. Yeah.
Why is everyone?
Does everyone travel in sleighs?
Does everyone travel in sleighs? Why is everyone killing one another in the future? Why is everyone slaying everyone in the future? Okay, from there, he has to convince his nerdy father to court his mother. The classic scene is Marty comes in at night to his father's bedroom unannounced, dressed in his radiation suit, puts headphones with his cassette player and blares heavy metal music, and then tells his dad he's from the planet Vulcan. He's Darth Vader from the planet Vulcan.
What if they played like he has one of those like JBL Bluetooth speakers, and it's playing like modern country, the type where like bros talk a lot instead of singing.
Broy country music. Not like AirPods and like death metal. Oh, I guess there's death metal in the 90s.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with AirPods though, because you don't want the other people hearing.
Okay.
Yeah.
So then you need a movie franchise that didn't exist in the 90s. Harry Potter from.
Oh yeah, Harry Potter. Ooh,
Hogwarts.
Ooh, I like. Yeah, no. Yeah, I'm Harry Potter from. What
was the name of the world? I think it had one.
The Harry Potter world.
What was the town again?
Hill Valley.
No.
Hogsmeade.
Was that the town?
The town that they snuck out to?
Yeah. Let's call it that.
Okay.
Sure.
And then so he asks Lorraine to the undersea dance. And then Marty gets stuffed in a trunk. The band that's playing, well, is it a band now or is it a DJ?
No, because it's in the 90s.
Okay, so it's a 90s band.
Let's go Green Day, because it would still be like you would still know who they are.
Yeah, it's just all of Green Day.
Well, a lot of times in these movies, they bring in a real band.
Yeah.
And it's like,
I mean,
now, granted, they're too old now to play themselves, though.
Right, but still, they could use de-aging technology, or
True.
they could just have stand-ins.
De-aged Green Day.
Yeah, okay, de-aged Green Day. And then, okay, so then should we just have them, instead of doing the whole like off, so the joke where Marty has to play Johnny B. Good, the one of the guys calls his cousin, who is Marvin Berry, or Chuck Berry, sorry. And so you know that new sound you're looking for? Well, listen to this.
Pop punk. Track listing.
Well, I was like, maybe it should be like one of the future, like instead of just getting rid of, instead of just doing like, oh, I don't know. I was thinking we can skip the middleman and just have like him play a future Green Day song instead of doing this is your cousin Marvin Grande. You know that new sound you're looking for, Ariana? Well, listen to this, because she's like 12.
And I feel like this is just about when pop punk was like coming onto the scene, though.
Yeah.
It was, but it had already kind of started. Yeah.
So like a 2000s, like, what does he play to get his, like, what does he play to celebrate? What about like a Blink-182 song? Like modern Blink-182, like Feeling This, or
couldn't even tell you what a modern Blink-182 song is.
Okay. What about a modern Foo Fighters song? Well, if he just plays a Foo Fighters song, because they haven't formed by 1994.
Yeah, but it's not like a whole new musical style, like rock and roll, or whatever.
Okay. So pop punk then, right?
Maybe. Well, I mean, I guess that was already starting to come out, though.
Yeah. Well, we need something. I mean, we need something that's like late 90s, early 2000s, like techno. Like, this is, hey Moby, this is your cousin Marvin.
Yeah.
And he just, and
Moby.
Instead of playing the guitar, he just whips out his phone and like plays a track. Beat by like DJs.
Had boy bands come out yet? I think they had.
They had.
Yeah.
But not like the 90s wave, not the late 90s wave. Ooh. Britney Spears. We do Hey Britney, this is your cousin Marvin. Marvin Spears.
And then it's sung by a guy, like, I don't know.
You know that new sound you've been looking for? I mean, we're getting hung up. We need like a popular song from the late 90s, early 2000s that he could play. That would be a funny joke that he influenced someone that wasn't like on the scene yet.
Let's go with Mbop by Hanson, 1997.
It's your cousin Marvin Hanson.
Yeah. This is gonna blow your mind how bad it is.
Love it. Okay, Mbop. Marvin Hanson. Okay, and then the ending. He goes back to the future. He does the whole Phil Valley, and Doc has to swing from the clock tower and whatever. And he gets back to 1985. He saves everyone. His parents are better. The bully is now subservient to the parents for some reason, or maybe they're a throuple. I don't know. And then Doc comes flying in the DeLorean and says, "We got to do something about your kids, Marty. Bring Jennifer too. This is concerned too. Something's got to be done about your kids."
But it was a DeLorean as well, so it'd still be the Cybertruck, right?
It'd still be the Cybertruck. I just wanted to say something's gonna be done about your kid.
Except when they fly away, like some pieces fall off of it.
Yeah. Yes. You can see that it's clearly been rusting. When traveling through time.
It's brand new. Yeah. There you go. That's modern day reboot of Back to the Future.
Back to the Future.
Called Back to the Future again.
Back to the now. All right. And before we end our episode, we have a Quotely 90s from our friends at the Insanely Dangerous Retro Podshow. And just a heads up, this is for last week's episode. So if you're playing with us and haven't seen that episode yet, then you're able to guess alongside of us. Otherwise, you may already know what the quote is if you listen to both of our shows. Are you ready, Andrew?
Yeah.
Let's go. Uh-oh.
Immediately getting Vanilla Ice vibes.
Okay. Punk, you better act up.
No, you better back up.
Better back up. Try to play the role.
My knee-jerk initial reaction is Vanilla Ice. Ice Ice Baby. I don't know what the name of the album is. That's one guess.
Yeah. Like the beginning where it's like, where he's like actually rapping.
Yeah, so that would be one guess.
Okay.
Something in the vein of like, tricky or, can't touch this or... But it kind of sounds like white dude rap,
Mm-hmm.
A little bit. Because it's being read by white dudes,
yeah,
probably.
I was gonna say. I mean, my first instinct was like TLC, like No Scrub, Waterfall, but I couldn't like place it. So
but I feel like when it comes to like American pop culture stuff, they hit the high points. They don't kind of get into the weeds like we do.
I mean, that's not the weeds.
No, but like Vanilla Ice is like kind of quintessential 90s trash. I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just really, that's just immediately what I thought of.
I'm not saying you're wrong. I like that guess more than what I was thinking. But I was just I was just offended you found Vanilla Ice more quintessential than No Scrub or TLC.
I think it's like more of a novelty topic in like
fair.
You know what I mean?
Something we would pick.
I'm not saying it's a better artist. I'm just saying it's like a novelty, a 90s novelty that you would be remiss if you didn't talk about on a 90s show.
It would pull it in.
Yeah.
Okay, so Vanilla Ice, Ice Ice Baby, which I think is off of Ice Ice Baby.
Or is off Vanilla Ice,
no,
self-titled?
Yes, self-titled. Yeah, self-titled.
All right, let's go with it. We're probably going to be wrong, but...
All right. Well, then we won't sing the lyrics next week in our Quotely 90s. Here we go.
Holy 90s white guy zeitgeist.
Oh, no. You're even heading in this direction.
Was sung by House of Pain.
I couldn't remember other groups that did songs similar, but yep.
House of Pain.
Back in 93, this song was absolutely everywhere.
Oh, it certainly was. Movies, films, sporting events. It became a cultural phenomenon.
That's easy for you to say, Dange. And if you want us to talk about Jump Around, then listen to our Music of 1993 episode out in just a few weeks.
Now let's jump it back to the everlasting Brandon and DJ Lethal Andrew.
Oops. Well, Dange told me it came out last week, so go check that out over on,
at least we were in the right spot.
And you were even heading in that direction. Like,
yeah, I just couldn't think of another group that did a similar song, because I kind of lump all those together.
Yeah.
Like also Baby Got Back would be in that list. I mean, in a way.
Pretty sure most of these people are no longer white.
It's okay. There you go.
Yeah. Well done. You guys win yet again.
I mean, at least we could hazard a guess. A lot of times we can't even fathom an idea.
Yeah,
that is actually anywhere adjacent.
Ballpark on that. If you like your retro with an equal helping of 80s to wash down the 90s, check out the Insanely Dangerous Retro Podshow on your platform of choice and follow up with those wascally wabbits on last Wednesday's episode. You'll even get to catch us delivering a Quotely 90s to Gaz and Dange, which was relevant to this episode. But yeah, check them out. And this episode's almost as long as one of their episodes, so we should be proud of ourselves.
But it'll be under an hour technically, so we should wrap.
Okay. Unless you want to do a trailer. No, we don't have time. All right. That's it for this week's edition of Namely 90s. Remember, you can find new episodes out every Monday. Find us on Instagram, Bluesky, and YouTube at Namely 90s with the 90S, and tell us what you want us to talk about on future episodes. If you'd like to support the show, please check out our Patreon at patreon.com/Namely90s, also with 90S. Finally, you can Finally, you can also contact us through our website, namely90s.com. Yay, Andrew, good job. Please subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, YouTube, Audible, Cybertruck, Pocket Cast, Castbox, iHeart, GoodPods, and wherever you get podcasts from. I'm Brandon, and that's Andrew, and we will catch you next time.
And end.